in this, our today's learning, as I said, we'll keep a bit low, short and sweet, but we'll talk about important factors which drive computer vision. We'll try and understand what exactly is computer vision, what are different set or types of applications of computer vision, and different services which are responsible of identifying the correct segments on computer vision. So, as few of them have already explained, it's something related to visuals. Visuals when a self-driving car monitors, visuals which is basically used by humans and machines both. One of the most simple day-to-day example which we have seen is face recognition in our mobile phones. All of that is basically to create eyes for computer so that it can further classify things as we do as humans. Our eyes and our brain knows what is a laptop, what is a human, what is a mic, what is a mobile phone. Objective of teaching computer to interact with cameras and identify everything which is going around is creating computer vision AI analytics for different applications. Computer vision enables computers to perceive, to interpret, and understand information from digital images and videos. It's very important, right? It enables computers to perceive, interpret, and understand information from different digital images and videos. What has been key to effective computer vision these days? When we talk about computer vision, the most important and effective key is the learning mechanism with which computer learns. And computer vision is completely governed with a platform on deep learning. It has proven to excel at computer vision tasks like probably object detection, like image generation, like style transfer, like image captioning. I don't know if you guys have heard of a website called Lenskart or a hair studio where you can view how a design of a spectacle or the hairstyle will look on you before doing it. All of these are day-to-day examples where they have adopted computer vision. In addition, from the technology perspective, deep learning with the help of CNN or probably deep convolutional neural networks have improved computer vision tasks in such a way that it has influenced great innovations across many industries. It may be surprising to learn how greatly computer vision applications impact their society. However, there are many industries who have benefited from the solutions around computer vision. First and the most important industry about which we all might have read in the newspapers is the automotive industry. The automotive industry has been focused on development of self-driving cars in recent years with the help of computer vision techniques. Autonomous cars should be able to track all of the surrounding objects with cameras and react according to what is happening in their driving environments. The algorithms have laid out the groundwork for driving scene perception, path planning, behavior arbitration, motion control, maps, rules of traffic. Everything has been considered, every data has been evaluated, and machines have been trained to analyze and react. Second important industry where we see machine learning leading is disaster relief and energy emergency situations. Because natural disasters like hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires, or floods require quick assessment of the situation in terms of damage to the environment and infrastructure. And this basically integration with Google Maps or Google Earth, we have, or probably satellites, we have been able to manage. Because while communicating with satellites and capturing spatial images, we are able to identify and understand the structure with which these can be safeguarded. Third important industry where AI with computer vision can be an important part is agriculture, because AI driven computer vision can be used to enhance agriculture by increasing yields as it informs farmer about efficient growth methods, about crop health, about crop quality, about infestation, about soil conditions. And there are different image classification techniques which are being currently used to automate quality control of crops by grading and sorting them based on their physical parameters and properties. And it is not only physical, guys, there is logical and scientific analysis of chemical reactions and growth also happening and recommended. Meanwhile, multispectral and hyperspectral aerial imagery provided by drones capture detailed information about soil and crop conditions to help monitor the stress and diseases in the farming area. And trust me, guys, is all of this is talking about industry. Okay, I just had a look at chat, guys. I'm not moving slides. We are just fundamental. We are trying to understand what are the different industries where computer vision is making change. So we have not yet got into the details of the action items, but we are just going through industries where it is leading and what are the different areas of application of computer vision. The fourth industry, I hope that's okay and good to all of you. Don't get confused. Just focus here on what we are discussing. Be open to share and interact. So, what we are discussing here is the fourth industry, which talks about healthcare. There are multiple examples of computer vision applications in the healthcare industry because computer vision techniques for healthcare can prove to be life saving for many patients. It allows medical professionals to monitor conditions and diseases and make diagnosis, which will guide how doctors prescribe medications and give out the treatment, as well as detect fatal illness. These application also improves medical processes and it reduces the time doctors use to analyze medical images and gives them more time for consultation with patients. And I don't know if you have heard or read it, but there were 11 successful surgeries, heart surgeries, only done by robots and governed and monitored by doctors. All of that is artificial intelligence aligned with data with which we have trained machines. Fifth industry, which I would like to talk about today, is security. Computer vision applications can be integrated into security cameras in order to harvest real time information from video feeds. Face recognition technologies are also widely being used for authentication purposes in various industries. Then common manufacturing industry starts with retail and inventory management, finance, advertising, education, and waste management, where there are different advances based on the need of the industry. The improvements in deep learning has provided has provided a fantastic base to the field of computer vision and has greatly impacted various industries and society as a whole. AI driven applications in image processing are currently improving business decisions, optimizing the processes, and creating safer services and transactions between people and communities. While there are many examples of computer vision applications impacting and disrupting industries, there are still many challenges to implement this innovative technology. And data collection process for these type of applications can be expensive and time consuming process. And all of this is around the data collection and security consensus around the applications of data. So guys, let's now go ahead and understand what is computer vision technically. Because when we talk about computer vision, fundamental technical concepts start with creating solutions which enable or which solutions that enable AI applications to see the world and make sense of it. Right? That's what we spoke about right now. So we have images, we have captures, and these captures we need to make sense of it. Of course, as we discussed, computers don't have biological eyes that work the way ours do, but they are capable of processing images, either from a live camera feed or from digital photographs or videos. This ability to process images is the key to creating software that can emulate human visual perception. To an AI application, an image is just an array of pixel values. Pixel values which are divided into numerological new numbers, to be specific, not the numerology, sorry. These numeric values can be used as features to train machine learning models that make prediction about the image and its content. And that's how every image is classified. This basically helps in application of computer vision in different verticals. Most popular vision solutions are based on machine learning models that can be applied to visual input from cameras, videos, or images. So first application is from the classification piece, which is image classification. Image classification involves training a machine learning model to classify images based on their content. For example, in a traffic light monitoring solution, you might use image classification model to classify images based on their type of vehicle, which can contain taxis, buses, cyclists, or so on. And in UAE, this has been already adopted in terms of different radars in the traffic system. Second important application is object detection. Object detection is a machine learning model which is trained to classify individual objects within the image and identify the location based on the bounding box. For example, a traffic monitoring solution might use object detection to identify the location of different classes of the vehicles. What is bus? What is car? What is cyclists? Then, third one we have is semantic segmentation. Semantic segmentation is an advanced machine learning technique in which individual pixels in the image are classified according to the objects to which they belong. For example, traffic monitoring solution might overlay traffic images with mask and layers which will highlight different vehicles which are using specific colors. Third one talks about analysis, image analysis to be specific. You can create solutions that can combine machine learning model with advanced image analysis techniques to extract information from images, including tags that could help catalog the image or even descriptive captions that summarize as it is shown in the presentation. And the most important one, which we were just speaking about, was face detection and recognition. Face detection is a specialized form of object detection that locates human face in an image. This can be combined with classification and facial geometry analysis with techniques to infer details such as age, such as emotional state, or even recognize individuals based on their facial features. And the last one is OCR, which is optical character recognition, which is a technique used to detect and read text in the images. You can use OCR to read text in photograph. For example, road signs or store fonts. All of this information from the scanned documents such as letters, invoices, or different forms. OCR can be one-stop shop for this exploration. I hope this is clear, guys. Do you have any questions?
Doctor, image classification and image analysis looks very similar to me.
Okay, let me differentiate this. Image classification will be able or should be an input for image analysis. Did you get that now?
Okay.
Image classification will classify what are the objects. Image analysis, based on that objects, will do an analysis like a person is crossing the road.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Perfect. Umair, fantastic question on the chat. I will read that question for everybody. Do we need a large set of data to train model for computer vision applications? And the answer is yes. The more the data, more you will have accuracy. It's not that with the small set of data, you will not be able to achieve computer vision, but it is always recommended to have maximum variance data so that our accuracy of prediction increases. Mohammed Jasim, that's a fantastic question. Did we need a degree to be an expert in computer vision, or it's enough to have a certificate with AI CAM? It's your learning, Mohammed. There is a lot to learn in UAE camp. We are exposing and giving you a lot of platforms, and which basically will give you a correct path to reach and learn more during these sessions, right? Technologically, there is a lot at the behind which we should learn, which you should learn if you are aspiring in this career. For that particular discussion, probably we'll have a detailed insight on how you can grow your career, what all things you can learn, where you can learn from, how to start internship, what we can offer. Probably towards the end of the session, we will discuss about all this. Not today, but towards the end of the complete series. Sachin, can we combine classification and OCR? Yes, you can. Yes, Sachin, you can certainly combine that. Is there any advantage to using object detection over semantic segmentation? Misha asked this. See, there is no advantages over any type here. Every type has its own specified expertise. So image, okay, I have a question from Sarah. What is difference between image classification and object detection? So Sarah, as we have studied yesterday about the classification algorithm, the objective of image classification is basically to classify images based on their content. And object detection will detect an object and visualize or inform about the objects. It will not classify the objects.
Still on this question, doctor, this question of Sarah, what will be, for example, the image classification on this, a person with a dog? If we made a image classification of this more broad image, it's the same image, but more broad, no? What will be the result, for example, city?
So we can
What
see
will-
the city, or we can identify if the person with the dog on the street is on zebra crossing or not. So analysis can be anything. Probably if taxi is following the red light or breaking it. So understand the difference between classification and analysis. Classification will just divide that we have taxis, we have people, we have cars, we have trucks. Now, after, if we have all this information, oh, okay, then analysis comes into the picture that, okay, truck is passing by with the speed of 20 meters per hour, and there is a person with the dog on the street who is traveling. That becomes an analysis. So what you want to derive out of the image is analysis, and classification. What all objects are seen, or what all data, if I have to make it simple, what all data is available in that image, which can be used for analysis, is classification.
Then image classification is also very near to object detection.
No, so object detection here is not only classifying the objects, but also naming the objects. So what is the difference between clustering and classification
Detection.
we saw yesterday? Object detection is working on deep learning, where with the help of features, it is detecting objects and identifying whether it's bus or cyclist or a car. Image classification is supervised learning, where with the classified information, I have trained machine that this is how taxi looks. This is how a car looks. This is how a bus looks. Did you get that?
Okay. The second one, the object detection is using deep learning with more precision.
More procedural features to be applied.
Dr. Amit, I think Misha has a question.
Yeah, I'm just going through it.
Yes.
She had her hand raised for a long time. So can we just take her question first?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm just a question.
Just a second, yeah, my dear. Misha first and then you.
Misha, you can speak up.
She posted her question. Maybe she's shy to ask.
Okay, let me. there's a lot of chat going on, so I think
I'll read it for you. Do face detection,
hello, can
object
you hear me?
detection, and optical character recognition use the same code but trained with different data sets?
okay. So this is the question, Misha. I think I heard you in between. You can speak up.
Hello, is the mic working?
Yeah.
Finally, okay. Does face detection, object detection, and optical character recognition use the same code but trained with different data sets?
That's absolutely right. Train not only with different data sets, but different models with different objectives.
Yes.
How is the model different?
The model
Yes.
okay. The model is different because the type of information which is processed with an objective of detecting a face and detecting a text will need different parameters or features to be considered, and that's why that model customization would be required. Fundamental algorithm will certainly be same, but the difference would be from the perspective of dimensions, from the perspective of verticals, from the perspective of features which we want to achieve with these types.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Misha, for asking that. I think we had somebody else also. Ahmed?
Yes, doctor. Can we use computer vision to calculate car's speed or measuring body's temperature or not possible?
Sorry, can you repeat that once again?
Can we use the computer vision to calculate car's speed or measure body temperature or not possible?
For the car speed, it's already being used in the industry.
Not radar. I mean not radar. Radar because there is third-party hardware. But if we use only camera, like computer vision only, like OCR or image classifications, only camera, it is possible or not?
It is possible. You will have to use camera.
Okay, what about body temperature?
Body temperature is also possible.
Also without third-party hardware.
We need a device which will take the data.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Perfect, Hussain, you are absolutely right. Object classification classifies and groups the images based on features, and object detection further detects what that object is. Asil, go ahead, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to know that how we can use the computer vision to find real people. Like Abu Dhabi police now use the for the COVID detection people. Like which application we can use, like face detection or object detection? Because now they, instead of PCR, they test the application that check the picture of people and find the people who are sick.
Yeah, so those kind of applications are built on based on object detection with neural programming, where based on the body temperature, the responses are classified.
I have something to add on to.
And that is in the malls also overall in Dubai and UAE and Abu Dhabi both, where body temperature is being monitored, identified based on the video live camera which is set up. There was somebody, yeah, Misha, go ahead.
Yeah, I have something to add on, answer his question. I think there's heat sensor, yeah, and the camera only counts how many people there are, so it
Yeah.
recognizes how many. But there's a heat sensor third party like device.
So
But
there's
they
no-
use, but they use the camera from the phone because we don't have the third party now on this because they use only the phone, a smartphone for this.
I didn't get your question.
I said that they don't use the third party application or any other kind.
So
Only they
it's not
use the
about the
smartphone.
third party application. What basically happens is the temperature, or probably the aura with the neurons which are created around human body can be taken as input, can be classified as the data, and based on different classification related to those techniques, this could be achieved. Like as we were speaking about COVID, there are a different set of data with respect to what could be the human temperature, what are the different infrared components, what are the deep learning essentials to identify body temperature using artificial intelligence. All of these are incorporated in the application.
Thank you, Dr. Raya now.
There are devices also which are known as thermographic systems, which are basically used for these kind of applications which you want. Because these thermal imaging systems, it's not a normal camera. There are thermal imaging systems which apply or which comply with the data which is being gathered. And these thermal imaging systems will further evaluate based on how and what kind of people data is being captured in the system. So what used to happen earlier, probably 2 years back or 5 years back, when there was no AI, there were thermal imaging systems also who gives you an information of a result of an evaluation of a person who is moving. However, there are a lot of limitations where, because based on the assessment, we were not able to classify it dynamically. But with the help of AI and proper use of thermal imaging system, the person who handles the system follows all the required procedures to control the reflective backgrounds, to how a human behave, to what is the room temperature, what was the humidity, how these thermal infrared system will capture and align the data and work without contact. So all these are high performance systems, not only softwares but also integrated hardwares, which are basically used to achieve these results. I hope that answers your question, buddy.
Yes, thank you, Doctor.
Misha, you still have any question, or I can lower your hand?
I have a question, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, now all these techniques of recognition and image classification and all those stuff have been done, yeah. So how are we moving forward? Are we just applying those? Are we creating new techniques? That's my question.
So it depends on industry to industry, Misha. Every industry is thinking of applying it based on their need, based on their objective. Like, if my objective is to reduce the operational cost, probably I will use automated bots to support my customers. If my objective is to evaluate the performance or sales in a particular region, my objective is from that perspective. The application is created from that perspective. Only fundamental thing, as a technology experts, we all, as a technology enthusiast, which we all are trying to learn, is what are the different categories which can be used and applied to achieve that particular business objective. So it can be applied to every industry today. However, where it should be applied, where it is profitable to apply, that is a business call which we all should understand and take based on industry we are working on.
I have another follow-up question.
Sure.
If I have an object detection model, is it hard to turn it into a semantic segmentation model? Is
No.
it fast to code, hard to code, blah, blah, blah?
Again, I would say it depends on what you are trying to achieve, but this can be easily used. There is a concept or a services called cognitive services, with the help of which the integration happens. Probably we will talk about cognitive services now in our next chapter.
And could semantic segmentation be used to detect collisions?
Yes, it can.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so let's move to the next topic for the day.
Dr. Amit, are you okay?
Yeah, I was just reading the chats. Yeah, yes. Anyways, that's a point of discussion. As I said, AI can be applied with different objectives, and based on the objectives, we will have to identify and work on how and what we need to achieve with those programs. So guys, going forward, let's try and understand the importance of cognitive services, because cognitive services are the services which will be used in the Azure platform or any AI platform for that matter. Cognitive services are uniform. You have cognitive services in other service providers like AWS, Google as well. So Azure, taking an example of Azure, and as you are exploring Azure as it is free, Azure provides set of cognitive services which encapsulate common AI workloads, including the fundamentals of computer vision tasks. To use cognitive services, we will have to provision our resource with Azure subscription, and then we can have a computer vision resource working exclusively on general cognitive services to encapsulate multiple services which are available. Using a standalone service specific resource enables us to manage different costs on the cognitive services. Let us see this one by one, because to understand cognitive services, guys, you will need a good understanding of web services, good understanding of REST APIs. So I'll keep it simple for all of us, that when we plan to work with cognitive services on any platform, we will need an access to different subsets of these services, and different multiple services have different APIs, REST APIs, which will integrate. And all of this is online because that's a handshake between your application and cloud services consumed with the models. So let's see how exactly this works. So image analysis with a computer vision service, one of the classic example which we were speaking about. So the computer vision cognitive service provides pre-trained computer vision model that you can use to analyze images. Option here is basically we have group of people walking on the sidewalk, and we can tag like gene, street, outdoor, and whatnot, and the ratings required. So the model which we try to build and create will detect and locate over 10,000 classes of a common object. It will generate automatic caption for the image and set the relevant tags that relate it to the content on which it is being trained. Tags can be useful if you need to index images and search for them using relevant keywords. Detect and analyze human faces. Enable content modernization by identifying the images which will contain adult or racy or gory content for that matter, and extract text in the images. We'll talk about extraction of text when we move to the OCR part. Sorry, somebody has to say anything?
It's probably an accident.
Oh, okay. So image analysis with computer vision service, which is available, will help us to consume which provide a pre-built algorithm and can process images which we can upload. The computer vision service, or first step to use computer vision service, is to create a resource. And there are factors. One, computer vision, which is a specific resource which will act and which we don't intend to use in any other components, and a cognitive service. So there will be a key and an endpoint which is needed for us to classify image analysis with the computer vision services in the application which we plan to build. Now here, as you can see on the slide, we have identified person, age, genes, footwear. So we can define what is to be classified, what is to be grouped, what is to be clustered, and based on the features on what we need to analyze. As going forward in the next slide, you can see, as we were speaking about, we need to train model. Now, what is the difference between image classification and object detection when it comes to trained model? So what basically happens is, image classification is a machine learning technique in which the object being classified is an image, like a photograph. As with any form of the classification, creating an image classification solution involves training a model using set of existing data. And object detection is a form of machine learning based computer vision in which model is trained to recognize individual type of object in that particular event, like this, with the different set of services. So what we plan to do here is we use the prediction and API for the model training, because to train a custom vision model, you should upload sufficient amount of data, you should upload sufficient amount of information and training images which will create the correct factor of having that data identified. And these models for prediction will have different project IDs, different model names, different predicted segmentation. And that depends on different services also, because as I showed you yesterday, I'll show you today also. When you log into the Azure portal, these cognitive services have different types. Image detection is one type, object detection is another type, facial services is face API, which is another aspect, because face detection and analysis is an important area of AI which use algorithm to locate and analyze human faces in the image or video content. Face detection is responsible to identify regions of images that contain human face, typically by returning bounding box coordinates for rectangles around it. So what basically happens when it comes to facial analysis? To a simple face detection algorithms, which classifies the landmarks such as nose, eyes, eyebrows, lips. What is the eyebrow left inner? What is the eyebrow left outer? Eye left top, pupil left, eye left outer, eye left bottom, eye left inner, and different factors which are classified. because these are the facial landmarks which are used as features for your nose, for your mouth, for your eyes, for your eyebrows. And with the help of these facial landmarks, which can be used as features, which is to train machine learning model from different inner information about a person, we also work on the perceivance on the emotional state. Because these facial landmarks will help us identify anger, contempt, disgust, fear, happiness, neutral, sadness, surprise, and whatnot. Because facial recognition and facial analysis, the data which will require to train a machine learning model to identify these from different facial features will certainly be helpful in all aspects. So there are similarity matching, identity verification techniques, and there are important aspect of points to be considered from the security perspective, from the social media perspective, from the intelligent monitoring perspective, advertising perspective, and there are different ways with which we achieve it. So you might have seen while using social media that you are tagging people, you're tagging companies. From where that comes? That's the facial analytics, which has a face API service which can be worked out. The next part of computer vision service is talks about reading text with the computer vision service. Now, the ability of computer systems to process the written or printed text in AI is basically OCR, where we are trying to understand the text part of it. Now, objective could be taking notes, objective could be digitizing forms, objective could be converting historical documents to the current state, or probably creating a digital copy of handwritten notes. And all of this will have important aspects to retrieve the data and convert them into a good amount of required inputs in these segments. And last but not least is the form recognizer service. Now, what happens in form recognizer service is a common problem with every company or every organization these days is to they need to process invoices, receipts, this data. So, a company might require expense claims to be submitted electronically with the scanned receipts. Now, how do we read? And that's where OCR comes into the picture. The form recognizer service in Azure provides intelligent form processing capabilities to check matching field names to values, to process tables of data, to identify different fields such as name of the product, telephone number, date, amount, tax, and all of them, and all of this is pre-screened and pre-created. And this basically has a lot of correct information when it comes to delivery of these services. Now let me stop this presentation and share my screen for me to show you where you can identify or locate these services. Just give me a moment, and then we can get into Q&A and you guys can complete your exercise, which was not done yesterday. Okay, let me share my screen here now. You see, these are the cognitive services. If you are there, if you see, these are the cognitive services. You can read through all classified algorithms and available solutions around cognitive services. Then you have cognitive services for multiple accounts. You have face APIs, which I was talking about. You have computer vision service, which we spoke about. These are the core services which will play an important role when it comes to computer vision. You need to use these services to integrate with your web applications, maybe Angular, JS, JavaScript, or any of that option, which will have an important factor on understanding the important aspects which needs to be considered while using computer vision. That's all for the day. I am open for questions. Sorry, I'm keeping today's day a bit short and sweet so that we all understand and I get some time. I'm a bit unwell today, but however, I'm open for questions. We have completed the agenda. Okay, I had one question yesterday, which probably we missed to answer, and I received that on email, and I would want to answer it here once for everybody. Is yes, we are going through concepts first, which are important for all of us to understand. What are the important features available for facial for AI around it? We will also see practicals, guys. We will also see practicals, but only after we complete the fundamental theory of learning. So yes, it will not only be the presentations. Once we cover the fundamental theory part of all the required AI services, last 2 or 3, I think 2 sessions are more towards practicals and demonstration and less towards discussions. Thank you very much for patiently listening to me. I hope that's making sense to all of you. If you have any questions on all the topics which we have spoken today, please raise your hands and we can speak up. Okay, one more thing before I take the questions. I assume you all have redeemed your courseware from SkillPipe. If not, please go ahead and do that on priority, or else you will miss this. Yes, Misha, I think you have a question. You can go ahead, please.
Is object detection the same as image classification frame by frame?
What do you mean by frame by frame?
I mean, image classification works on a ready-made image. And frames in a computer are images. So is object detection the same as image classification using lots of frames? Real time.
I would differ here. It's not that. Okay, see, Misha, what happens is, let's say we want to classify 10 types of taxis. We will use image classification. There could be different taxis, right? Toyota Corolla can be a taxi, BMW can be a taxi. A taxi is one head under which there could be multiple subheads. So we are classifying taxis. If that's the objective, we use image classification. Now, let's come back to the object detection. Now here, irrespective of which type or which type of taxi it is a taxi that has to be detected and informed. That's where object detection would be used. So then you decide what to use when.
I understand. So it's not possible to detect a specific type of taxi. It's hard. From what I understand, it's hard.
No, it's possible based on the data with which we turn them.
Okay. I have another question.
Sure.
About the age, right? If you want to if you want to see someone's age inside the camera through a camera, it needs lots of data sets. So it's going to take like 100 or 10,000. How many images of each age? Because let's say you want ages from 1 to 105. That's so much data. Is it 100 per age or 10,000? How much are we?
So ideally what happens is we cannot classify this on the number. It's based on the domain and field you're working on. But a fundamental principle is we should at least train 20% of data which can be applied to 80% of value for detection. So if you have a data of let's say 100 terabytes, 20 terabytes should be used to train a model. And based on that model, which is trained by 20% of data, other 80% of data can be classified overall.
Understand. And can this project be used in bars to check for somebody's age, and then if it says they're too young, they could just check the ID and stuff like that?
Yeah, that can be done. So like I'll give you an example which we recently implemented in multiple schools and colleges. You know that last 2 years people are attending their lectures, courses, classes online. Now what happens in the online lecture is a challenge which school or a college was facing. They come with a problem was they said that we know that people are students are there online logged in, but we don't know whether they are really attending or not. What is their attentiveness? Do they understand or not? Because there are no responses as such. Is there a mechanism where we work on? So using face APIs and computer vision, we've created a plugin which is installed on all the platforms like Zoom, Teams, Google Meet, which can be installed, which is platform agnostic. Based on that, it has been mandatory by those colleges and schools to keep the videos on, and based on the video, their attendance is automatically captured. It is captured not only once, but how many times he was there on screen, he was attentive, he was not attentive, he was sleeping. All the emotions are being captured by default by this plugin. And now probably the attentiveness of students have started increasing in last 6 months. So what do we had to train? Probably we used the video lectures, photos of all the students who should be in that particular class, and then the model was created to assume or to have their facial expression identified based on the ethnicity and emotion and all the aspects.
I would like to say something. Last thing.
Sure.
I'm a student in school, and I know that a lot of students pre-render like a bunch of videos of them being like there,
Yeah,
and then play them.
that's true.
So I just want to let you know that, like, yeah.
And I know, and that's we can identify all that in our face API algorithms. So we already have a solution which identifies whether it's really live or whether it's a pre-rendered video which is getting played. Perfect. Thank you. It was fantastic interacting, Misha, with you. Any more questions, guys? No? Then that's good.
We have any exercise for today's lesson?
No, I have not given you any exercise for today's lesson. I want you to complete the yesterday's one, and all the exercises will be covered after we complete the NLP. I'll give you a lot of exercises and the practices which you can practice at your pace.
Okay.
Amda, I think you're raising your hand. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, so I registered on SkillPipe, but it keeps asking for a license key that I don't have. How can I
License
get
key
that?
should be in the email which you received from SkillPipe, Amda.
But with the email I received, when I opened the link where it says access SkillPipe, it just takes me to the same exact page.
No. Read that email. There should be a license key in that email itself.
Sent by SkillPipe?
Sent by SkillPipe. SkillPipe is going to send the access key.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
I didn't get the email. Is it okay if you paste like the link or whatever it is in the message?
I think for whoever will send the link now one more time. We can take one more question before we excuse Dr. Amit. He's not feeling well, which is why I'm limiting the number of questions for today. But hopefully that you do feel better Sunday and we are able to take more questions. Mahmoud?
Hello, good afternoon. I hope Mr. Ahmed feel well
Yes, Mom. Go ahead, please.
I have a question about I'm on Azori portal. I see resources group. What does that mean?
Okay. For now, let me not get into technology because we're going to cover that in our session after we complete the AI part. But just to give you a correct understanding, when we interact with the cloud, there are different resources which we use. Resources like virtual machines, resources like servers, application servers. So we can create a group of resources for a particular project, and that's
So these are locally made, yeah?
no, these are made on the cloud.
On the cloud, I transfer them to the cloud, or are they existed on the cloud?
They are existing on the cloud, and you will create your resources on the cloud.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope you feel well.
Yeah, thank you. We'll interact.
Thank you.